Hi, it's Penny here, and today we're going to be putting together my TBR for the month of June. So all the books that I'm planning to read in June. I do actually already have the stack here of books that I want to read, but as usual I am going to also do the thing where I use my TBR machine website to pick 3 random reading prompts to pick 3 books off my TBR shelf. You can't quite see it, but it doesn't have many books to choose off it. But from this stack, these 3 are New Zealand authored books that were actually on my May TBR. I should have gotten to them already, so that's just like a punishment I have to deal with. This book is just a library book. Oh, this one is part of my Cosmere reread. And then these 3, I could use these. Like, they're off my TBR. Random thing just fell out of one of these books. Who knows what that is? But these 3 I could use for the prompts. So we're going to try. If we can. What is... Oh, it's part of a map. I think it's from the Wheel of Time book. So let's see. Let's just pick the prompts from the TBR machine because honestly that's always the bit I stress the most about. And I will leave a link to the TBR machine website down below if you want to use it to pick out reading prompts for yourself. But anyway, I'm going to pick 3 prompts. And the first one is... read a book that will make you happy. Honestly, it would make me happy to put any of these books on the list because then I will have less books to read in the month of June, and I'm trying very hard to catch up on all my reading because I've been behind. But which one would make me the happiest? Do you know what I'm going to pick? I'm actually going to pick The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. Now this is almost definitely going to be a really awful book. This series is basically about a bunch of morally grey characters that are in the middle of this magical dispute as well as this war between different empires. And generally everything goes really bad for them. But also, it's kind of written in a humorous way. It's also kind of really awful. But will it make me happy? I am really hoping it will make me happy. So I'm gonna pick this. It's like the worst pick for that prompt ever, but that's what I'm gonna do anyway. Then the second prompt will be read a book that has been adapted into a movie or a TV show. Okay. So, kind of no, but kind of yes. Like the Wheel of Time has been made into a TV show. This is the 13th book in the Wheel of Time. So like the TV show hasn't got to this yet, and honestly, I kind of have doubts whether they'll ever get to this part of the series because I actually gave up on the series at book 8 and just went and read the plot summaries of all the books up to book 11 because from what I can tell, nothing particularly interesting happens in those books. And I couldn't do it because I was having such a terrible time from like book 5. Honestly, maybe even book 3. This is such a popular series, but I think what a lot of people who are picking it up recently are discovering is that it's hard going in some parts. In the beginning, we're following a bunch of young people who get involved in this prophecy. In this world, time is kind of circular, and every time there's this Dark Lord that kind of comes back and a bunch of different people that fulfill certain roles. And like the setup is amazing. There's a lot of really interesting ideas, but so far in the series, I still have to pick up book 12 in May, but hopefully I can get to this one in June. Anyway, I'm stretching the prompt again, but I'm going to do it. Can we get the third prompt to fit this book in? That would be amazing. Read a horror book. Look, I'm all for stretching the prompts, but I can't argue that this is a horror. Can I? Probably some horrific things happen in it, but no. Do I have any other horrors on my shelf? Doubtful. Okay, it's still stretching it, but the best I can do is The Push by Ashley Audrain. Don't know how to say that name. This, I've actually forgotten what it's about. Something about a woman has a child and she just doesn't connect with them, and she doesn't know whether it's something that's wrong with her or something that's wrong with her daughter. Some people have shelved it on Goodreads as horror. I think it's more of a mystery thriller type story. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to like this. A lot of the reviews I've seen of it have said that maybe you would like it more if you are a mother, of which I am not. But at some point, someone said something that made me interested to read it, and then I picked it up at a book fair for like $2, so we are going to try it. So this is my stack from the TBR machine. Then I also have to add to it Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire. However, I do have the audiobook for this, so I might just read the audiobook. This is the sequel to Wicked, which is a Wizard of Oz retelling that Gregory Maguire wrote following The Wicked Witch of the West. This one is actually her son. I read this about 20 years ago and I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to continuing the series because I just love how it twists the normal Wizard of Oz story that you know that's so pure and good and really makes it into something much more real and a lot darker. Then I also have The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Mistborn trilogy. I am currently reading Mistborn. I have it right here. I was reading just before I was filming. This is a really amazing series about these group of people trying to take down the Lord Ruler, who has been like an evil dictator over the land for thousands of years. He's kind of enslaved most people, but these people have this magical ability based on ingesting metals that gives them a chance, maybe, to overthrow him. I'm really enjoying my reread of Mistborn, so I'm really looking forward to rereading this one as well. Even though, like, I have these editions where the pages are super thin, but this book, even though it's quite tiny, is actually 763 pages. So this is a lot. And this one as well. This one, 828 pages. And this one, 690 pages. I'm gonna die. I really want to catch up on my reading, but this does not look easy. I do also have another Babysitter's Club Little Sister graphic novel adaptation. So this is following Karen, the little sister of one of the girls in the Babysitter's Club. This is a book series that started in the 80s. I read it as a kid and I really loved it. I did also read the Little Sister books a little bit, but not as much because I was far too old and mature at like 8 years old to read these ones, or so I thought. But I have been really enjoying the graphic novel adaptations. They're just like cute and fun, and this will take me 2 seconds to read, so thank goodness for that. Because I do also still need to add in these 3 books that I didn't read from May's TBR, but they're all New Zealand authors, so I really do want to get to them. So then this is my stack for June. I really wanted an easy TBR so that I could catch up. Does this look easy? I don't think so. But we're going to try. As well, I do have a number of audiobooks that I want to talk to you about. So firstly, I have 2 audiobooks from last month that I didn't get to. The first one is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I don't know much about it other than I assume there's a book club that gets involved in vampires. It's like a horror mystery thriller type book that I wanted to try. Also God Killer by Hannah Kaner. Something about a god killer and also a young girl that they come across that has a god somehow attached to them. So this god killer can't kill that god, and somehow this group of unlikely acquaintances ends up going on a quest together. I've heard a lot of great things about it, so I am excited to get to it. Then as well, I have A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. So this is the sequel to A River Enchanted. In A River Enchanted, we basically followed this bard as he came back to his hometown on this island where one side of the island has always been at war with the other side of the island. And now in his hometown, some children have started going missing and he's had to come home to try and help save the day. This is just a duology, so this second book will hopefully wrap things up. To be honest, the first book wasn't my favorite, but there were just a few hints that the second book might be interesting, so I'm going to give it a go. Then as well, I have The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman. This is the sequel to Northern Lights, which I will be reading in May. I haven't yet read it, so hopefully I can get to it by the end of the month, because in fact it's going to return itself at the end of May, and the whole queue is really long, so I don't want to be waiting again. And honestly, I don't know much about this series other than I think there are no, I'm not going to try and say a synopsis. It's a book series that a lot of people read when they were younger and really loved. I haven't always had a lot of success with book series that people loved when they were younger, although I do really like A Series of Unfortunate Events and Percy Jackson, so maybe this one will be okay. I'm going to try it, basically because I need some more audiobooks. Oh, and there is one other book coming out in June, a new release, It's actually probably the book I'm the most excited to read in June, and that is Magic Claims by Ilona Andrews. So this is the second book in this little spin-off series of novellas that Ilona Andrews has been writing, based on their original Kate Daniels series. So in the Kate Daniels series, Kate Daniels is a mercenary in this world where magic has started to come back, but it's starting to come back in waves. So sometimes magic works and other times technology works, and you never really know which one is which. In this little spin-off series, basically Kate and her love interest have tried to move out of town and just live a normal, quiet life, but it's not going very well. The first novella in that series was released earlier in the year, and I was so glad to be back with Kate Daniels and her family and her friends and just in that world. So I'm really excited about getting another book. So I feel like this video is probably a lot shorter than a lot of videos I've been making lately. It's just a shame that this pile of books is not shorter than my TBRs have been lately. Maybe it is, because I've been a bit ridiculous lately. So we'll see. Anyway, let me know if there's anything you're going to be reading in June that you're excited about, or if you've read any of these books, whether you think I'm going to like them. And check back in at the end of the month when I will wrap up my thoughts on all of these. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are doing well, and I will see you next time.